everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm sorry it's been so long, life has just gotten in the way and stuff like that. I have Eve with me today just because I can't make a video without holding an animal. So yeah, this video is not about her, she's just gonna hang out with us. So the video that I wanted to make today is kind of a little update informational video for you. It's not happy news. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a downer or anything, but I just want to kind of keep it real and share the good sides and the bad sides of pet owning with you. So this is one of the bad sides. It took me a while to make this video just because I was quite emotional after this happened. So I wanted to just be able to come here and share this with you without getting too emotional, and I think I'm at that point now. So, this video is about my little Yellowtail Cribo snake that I had. His name was Drogon. You might remember that I made a unboxing video of him. I'll post that link down in the description for you if you didn't watch it. Yeah, so past tense, I had Drogon. No longer have Drogon. If you follow me on my Instagram, you'll know that he passed away. And so I just kind of wanted to make this video just kind of letting you know what happened. I'm not too clear exactly what happened, but I'm going to do my best to kind of elaborate on that. So let's just go back to the beginning and I'll tell you all about what happened while I had him. I brought him home on July 21st. He was hatched on May 31st, so he was just about 2 months old when I got him. He was eating for the breeder. He was a happy, healthy little guy as far as anybody could tell. Got him on July 21st. I let him settle in for a few days just to try and, so he wasn't stressed and that kind of stuff. So this is his tank behind me here. So he was in a small area. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see this little bin right here behind me. He was in that. So he wasn't in the entire tank. He was just in that little bin, so that he was nice and secure and closed in, and he couldn't see any of the other animals walking around or anything like that, so he wasn't stressed. So yeah, let him settle in for a few days. Didn't handle him, didn't do anything. And after 5 days, I tried to feed him. So I put the prey in with him, kind of dangled it around in front of him to see if he would take an interest in it, and he completely ignored it. He didn't want anything to do with it. So I figured, okay, I'll just put it in the bin with him, close him up, leave him alone for the rest of the day, see if that interests him when nobody else is around or watching. It didn't. He didn't eat. He didn't even look at it. So, okay, maybe he's still a bit stressed from the shipping and stuff like that. That is pretty stressful for them. So I'll try again another 5 days. So left him alone. Didn't handle him. Didn't do anything. Tried another 5 days. Still nothing. He just refused to take the food. Wasn't even interested in it. So I contacted the breeder that I got him from, explained kind of what was going on, and so he suggested that I try different types of prey. Instead of just trying mice, that I try different things like fish or chicken or just different things that might interest him. So I tried everything I could think of and everything that I could get my hands on in my area. Nothing enticed him. Absolutely nothing. So contacted the breeder back again, let him know what was happening. So he suggested that I start assist feeding. And I'm sorry, this is going to be a little bit gross for the people that aren't regular snake handlers and stuff like that. But like I said, good, bad, and ugly. I started assist feeding him mouse tails. So essentially, I would cut the tail off the already pre-dead mice and I would assist feed him. So essentially, assist feeding is when you handle the snake. So she's not going to like this, but I'm going to kind of show you on her. You hold them like this so they can't move, and then you pry open their mouth just a bit and put the mouse tail in. So it kind of, once the mouse tail is in their throats, they tend to trigger the feeding response, and then they'll eat. So did that, and he took it. He swallowed down the mouse tail quite easily. There was no struggling. There was nothing. He swallowed the mouse tail. I went, oh, okay, this is great. He took the mouse tail. So left him alone, checked him in about 48 hours, and he had pooped. So that was telling me that there was nothing wrong with his system. He could swallow fine, he digested fine, he went to the bathroom fine, so there was nothing internally that was preventing him from eating. So I contacted the breeder again, said I assist fed him the mouse tails, and he ate them quite fine. Everything was good. So it was just a matter of getting him interested in the food, essentially. So the breeder said, okay, can you get frogs? Because apparently this species of snake just can't resist frogs for some reason. Just the scent of them or something like that. They just can't resist frogs. So he said, can you get any frogs in your area? Well, I can't. I'm in a small town and there's no possible way around me that I can get frogs. So I told him no, and so he shipped me some frogs. So I waited in the mail to get the frogs, and the frogs came, and so I put one in his tank and did the wiggle thing in front of him again. I wiggled it for maybe, I'm going to say 3 to 4 minutes, and he latched onto it, and he swallowed it. He ate the frog. I was so excited. I've never been more excited about a snake in my life, but he finally ate after weeks and weeks and weeks of struggling to try and get him to eat. He ate the frog. And so I was like, oh, we've got it made. You know, he had lost a little bit of weight because he wasn't eating, which was understandable. But I'm like, oh, he ate the frog. So now, you know, I can start building his weight back up. Once I get his weight back up, then I'll start scenting the mice with the frogs to try and switch him over to mice because that's what I can get in my area. And, you know, I figured I had it made. And so that was all good. I left him for the 5 days, which is the period of what I was leaving him to eat every 5 days. And so I left him for 5 days, and then I went back in. So I contacted the breeder in that time and went, okay, he ate the frog. Now, should I just give him 1 frog per feeding, or should I give him 2 per feeding because he's underweight? So if I fed him 2 per feeding, that would kind of pack on the pounds a little bit faster. And the breeder said, yes, give him 2 per feeding so that we can pack on the pounds. Once he gets to where he should be, we can cut back to 1 frog per feeding again. And so I went, okay, that's great. So next 5 days, I thawed out 2 frogs. And I went into his tank, and I gave him the 1 frog. He ate it, not a problem. Like, literally, as soon as I dangled that frog in front of him, he was on it. Like, he was hungry. So he ate it quite fine. I watched, I made sure that the frog was, you know, probably about 1/4 of a way down his body, because you can see where the lump is, right? So the frog was about 1/4 way down the body, and then I gave him the 2nd frog. I gave him the 2nd frog, he ate that too, not a problem. Swallowed that down, I made sure it was going down his body, like it was probably like about here on him, and I was like, okay, he's got them both, he's swallowed the both, it's all good. I covered the bin again, left him alone, blah, 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 blah. So that was on November the 6th that I fed him the 2 frogs. November the 11th, 5 days later, I thawed out 2 more frogs, went into his bin to go feed him the 2 frogs, and disaster struck. Literally disaster struck. So I opened the bin, and the first thing that I noticed was that both of the frogs that I had fed him on November the 6th were back in the bin. He had regurgitated them. Kamori, go lie down. My dog is wanting to get into this video. Kamori, go lie down. And so both frogs were back in the bin. And I was like, oh, this is not good. It's not a disaster yet. Snakes can regurgitate their food sometimes. It takes a little bit longer to get them back on food again because you have to feed them like really small increments to get them eating again. So I was like, oh, this is like a setback, but it's not a disaster type thing. So I'm like, okay, so I took the frogs out, got rid of them. And then I was like, okay, where is he? So I'm looking around in the bin, and I happen to look over to the hide that I had in his bin. And I can see his body stretched out across the doorway of the hide. And I'm like, okay, he's in his hide. And then I kind of did a double take, and I'm like, oh no, I'm seeing belly scales. And for those of you that don't know, the only time a snake lies on his back with its belly in the air is when it's dead. So I was like, okay, I'm seeing belly scales. This is not good. So I kind of collected myself and, you know, kind of like braced. And I lifted up the hide to check him. And of course, yes, he was dead. So what happened? I don't know. I do not know. He could eat. I know he could eat because he ate the mouse tails and he ate 1 frog, digested them, pooped, did all of that. So it was going through his body. Now, the only possible thing that I can think of that happened was maybe the 2 frogs got tangled in his stomach and he regurgitated them because he couldn't move them, and the regurgitation killed him, because sometimes that happens. For those of you that aren't snake handlers, it is not uncommon to feed a snake 2 prey items. So, like, even for this one, when she was growing, when she got to the point where the 1 prey item wasn't enough for her, but she wasn't big enough yet to take the next size up, I would give her 2 of the smaller prey items instead of just 1. So it's not uncommon to do that. So why the 2 frogs would get tangled in his body, I don't know. It's just one of those freaks of nature that, you know, he just wasn't meant to make it, I guess. So yeah, he passed away sometime between the 6th and the 11th of November. That's just how it is, right? Que sera, sera. It's part of snake breeding, snake owning. It's just life, really. So where do I go from here? You know, like, I've already got this nice big I've got this nice big tank back here. I've already got plans on how I'm going to expand this entire thing to be 6 feet long by 4 feet wide by 2 feet high, and everything for when he's full grown. Like, I have plans, right? So I contacted the breeder back again and went, he passed away, this is how it is. And so I talked to the breeder, and I'm back on the list again for next year. His snakes are together now. The males and females are together now. The females will lay their eggs very early spring, and then the eggs will hatch midsummer, so around May, beginning of June sometime. Like I said, Drogon here was hatched May 31st. Then they have to stay with the breeder for at least 2 months, maybe a little bit more, until they're eating well and all of that. So I will be bringing home another baby snake sometime, probably early fall next year. I'm on the list for both a blacktail Cribo and a Yellowtail Cribo. So when I got Drogon, I was actually on the list for blacktail Cribo. But unfortunately, this breeder's blacktails did not produce this past year. So he had told me that I could either wait a year and see if they produce next year, or I could take a yellowtail instead. And I had chosen to take the yellowtail. My actual dream snake is the blacktail, however. So I'm back on the list again for blacktail Cribo this coming season. However, if something happens and his blacktails don't produce again, I will take another yellowtail. So either way, next year I'll be welcoming a new baby into the mix. Until then, this unfortunately is gonna have to sit empty. That's how it is, right? I still have my babies here to keep me company. So yeah. That's my story. I just, wanted to share with you because essentially I got this blacktail Cribo. I was all excited on Instagram and on YouTube here and everything. I posted the unboxing video of him. I posted a couple other pictures on my Instagram. And then he promptly disappeared off the face of the earth. And the reason I did that was because I was having trouble getting him to eat, so I was not handling him until I got him to eat. So of course, I wasn't handling him. I couldn't make an update video or take pictures or anything like that. So, yeah, he promptly disappeared off the face of the earth, and then all of a sudden I posted on my Instagram that he had died. So I was like, oh, maybe I should make a video explaining what happened, why he disappeared, and what my next step is. So so I'm here, I'm explaining. Life is what it is, right? 2020 has been a crazy year. I think it kind of hit me hard for two reasons. One, because he was just a baby, and it's always really, really sad when a baby passes away. And two, it's the first snake that I've ever lost. This one was my first snake ever, and as you can see, she's doing wonderful. The one that's in this tank up here was my second snake, and she's doing fine as well. I have one more that I can't really handle because he's grouchy. But he's doing fine too. His name is Farron. I think I've posted a few pictures on my Instagram of him. And then Drogon was my fourth snake that I've ever had, and he didn't make it. And he was the first snake I've ever lost. So that was just kind of a shock, I guess. It's kind of like having your very, very first dog and it passes away when it's just a puppy. It was kind of devastating. But, I moved on. And it is what it is. My next baby for next year will also be named Drogon. I'm essentially just going to put this up for, bad luck and lesson learned and move on. So It will be another male, and it will be called Drogon again. Whether it's going to be a blacktail or a yellowtail Cribo, I'm not sure yet. We're going to have to wait until next summer to find out. So, the process starts again. I will keep you updated on my Instagram page, which is linked in the description box below. I will be posting when the eggs are laid, and then when the eggs are hatched, and then when I get my new little guy, I'll be doing another unboxing video, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, thank you for coming back for another video. I did want to say also, if there's any content that you want to see on this channel, if you have any questions about any of my animals, be it cats, dogs, birds, sugar gliders, snakes, whatever, comment it in the comment section below, and I will see what type of a video I can make on it. Even if you just want to see something a little different, if you want to see me, I don't know, play with the sugar gliders, or trim their nails, or clean their cages, or I don't know, just anything. If you have anything that you want to see, just comment it in the comment below, and I'll see what I can do. So, my little girlie's hanging out here, being all so cuddly and cute. And we're gonna stop the video now, so I will be back probably not until the new year now. It's just before Christmas if you're watching this video in the future. So, yeah, I'll be back in 2021. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and click the little notification button if you want to figure out more videos for me here. And I will see you next time. Bye.